This is the Inside the Sox podcast, presented by Grandstand Productions, hosted by Rob Anglin, starting in 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, guys, and welcome to Inside the Sox podcast, hosted by Grandstand Productions. As always, we love to welcome you guys to our channel. As always, with my good friend Gino, with my good friend Justin, with my good friend Harrison, and my good friend Dev. How are we doing tonight, boys?
Oh man, kind of upset. Didn't want this road trip to end like this. We ended up 3-4 during our road trip. We should have swept the Twins. We should have swept the White Sox. Just bad pitching, bad management, and God, Tristan Casas, man, costing us that game on Saturday afternoon, man. If only he had that ground ball, we would have been into extra innings.
It's been a really tough series. Just like the past couple series have been like brutal to watch. And coming off a Yankee sweep, we thought the ceiling was high for the Red Sox. We didn't look that good. I'm going to bring it around the table and I'm going to hear everybody's thoughts on the series. First, let's start with this Twin series. That was the most recent series that we first started. And we'll go around the table. We'll start with the Twin series. We'll go to the White Sox series and we'll get it going. Let's hear from, I'll start with Gino because you're at the top on my end. We'll start with you and we'll go around. Let's hear your thoughts on the series.
Oh my gosh. I mean, where do we even begin? I thought we were going to sweep that whole thing. We did pretty well. We were doing pretty good. Now we're going on the next one. I thought there was hope. There was hope. Then the injury bug came to us, and then now everything is messed up now. And no one from injury is coming back fast enough. We don't know what's going to happen all these other games. So saw some light. Now there's no light, and now I'm just ready to see what happens next because after seeing the White Sox, I want Robert more than ever now. Luis Robert. I want him more than ever now. So see what happens.
I agree. I think Luis Robert, what a series he had for the White Sox, that series. A good old friend, Andrew Benintendi, killing us with the doubles. I think, yeah, the Twin series, James Paxton, I mean, the injury bug, like you said, is still catching on up. We'll get on to the situation with James Paxton in a bit. Let's go back to you, Dev. Let's hear your full in-depth thoughts on this Twin series. We know you got your little intake, but let's hear your full thought.
Oh man, I mean, I had so much hype, just like Gio said, the first two games, it was great, 10-3, what was it, 9-3 on Monday night's game, and then it was just like a debacle, Thursday, really just upset me, we only get 3 hits, and we just couldn't execute runners in scoring positions and whatnot. It's just that I understand that the Twins are in first in the Central, and God, I wish that the Red Sox were in the AL Central right now because right now we'd be in first place. And, it's just terrible to see us, still in last place, going on that 6-game winning streak, sweeping the Yankees, having so much high hopes, and then all of a sudden coming to Minnesota and splitting. I would have been happy with it, winning at least 3 to 4 games, maybe even sweeping them, but just going out with the sweep, that's just, not the way that things should have ended up for sure. But, series is a series and, you just got to move on.
I agree. A series is a series. And sometimes when you lose series, it hurts a lot. Harrison, are you here? I don't know if you're here. I know your picture's not here, but are you here?
I'm still here.
All right, let's hear your thoughts on the series. Is your camera not working? Do you not want to show your beautiful face?
My camera's lagging right now.
Your camera's lagging. Well, let's hear your thoughts on the series. You can hear it from Bryce Young on the screen right now. Let's hear your thoughts on the series.
Bryce Young's a dog, by the way. The series, I'm not mad. I'm just a little bit disappointed. We just couldn't hit the ball. This is worse than the kid throwing the baseball to left field. Yet again, it's just it's really just saddening. It's just disappointing. It's just all... It's all the above.
My bad.
It's just it's just losing to the White Sox. It's just it's yet again. The baseball. It's just the kid throw the baseball to left field yet again. Just Andrew Benintendi, Luis Roberts just keep on destroying us left and right. Then it's really frustrating and it's just really tiring at the same time. Just Joe Berger was hitting bullets. Freaking Luis Robert was hitting bullets. And Andrew Benintendi was hitting bullets. But all we need to do, I think we still have a shot. It's not time to throw up the towels just yet. We're 3 games behind in the wild card. Is that right, Rob?
I think 2.
I think
3 or
two. We're
2.
only out 2 right now. We're not too far behind the Blue Jays and Yankees because they're scuffling too.
But I just don't know what can we do from here. Like when we get to the trade deadline, I want Dylan Cease from the White Sox. I think that he needs to get out of Chicago immediately. No offense, White Sox fans, but Dylan Cease has been struggling like a trombone recently, but he has been doing okay so far for the past few games. But I need Dylan Cease from the White Sox. I know Rob wants Kelly so bad from the Diamondbacks, but Dev wants Alek Manoah, but we just got to do something here. That's all I'm going to say. We have a lot of options up for grabs because these are not bad options that we're going to have.
I agree. You're going to see a lot of scuffles before you see highlights. And I think the one thing with this series that we split with the Twins, we saw at the beginning of the series, they were hitting the ball. Tristan Costas also, by the way, the defense, I don't know what's going on with that. He's just hasn't been looking good defensively recently. But I'll tell you one thing, that bat is waking up. So I'm happy to see that he's finally figuring it out a little bit at the plate. I see Justin's got his finger up. He wants to give his thoughts on the series. Justin, let's hear your thoughts on the series, bud. What do you think about this series that's going on? Vibes are so freaking high. Last episode, I thought we could make it to October, and now we're back at the bottom. Well, the one thing is, Justin, we're kind of at the bottom during the Yankee series, but we're not too far away. That's one thing you got to realize. We're not too far back. It just this team needs to string together a winning streak. We need a winning streak, and we need it quick because I think the one thing with this Twin series that we realize is that the Red Sox, this whole season, they've been back and forth. They win series against great teams, good teams. Not saying the Yankees haven't been that good this year, but they are still a good team when they're healthy. They win good series against good teams, and then series that you need to win. I mean, entering the series against Minnesota, we had a better record than them. The Minnesota Twins are in first place in the Central, and they had a losing record. So that just goes to show you those are games that you need to win, and the Red Sox are winning games they need to win. I feel like the pitching has been great for Brian Bayo. I just want to say Brian Bayo, I mean, in the next series with the White Sox series we're going to get to in a second, he's the future ace of this team. But no, the pitching, it's been a little shaky on and off. I mean, but that bullpen, we're going to get to the bullpen. It's just the pitching needs work. The offense is either hot, they do really good, they drive in a lot of runs like that game in Minnesota, that first game. By the way, Bill Burr is amazing in the booth. I petitioned to get Bill Burr in the booth 24/7. He was hilarious in the booth. But no, that Twin series, it was tough to watch. It was it's tough to see it when a series you know you can win and they don't win it. But all in all, I think we just need to get back on track against Miami. We're gonna get into our next series, the White Sox series. Harrison, what are your thoughts on this White Sox series? You went last. We're gonna send you first this time.
How? It's just how? How did we lost that series to the White Sox? Well, I guess they had the better. Guess what? I guess they had the better bullpen than us, which is absolutely crazy because the Chicago White Sox have been struggling in the bullpen recently, which is absolutely insane. But at least we didn't get swept. But we wish we would have won the series. But at the same time, it's frustrating. It's just frustrating. It's frustrating.
I agree. Frustrating is a word to describe this series, without a doubt. Dev, let me hear your thoughts on this series. What are you thinking about this White Sox series that we could have won, but unfortunately we did not?
What can I say? I mean, Friday night, we are given so much hope. Like after that 2-run absolute piss missile from Rafael Devers in the right field bleachers, you would have thought, oh, okay, the Red Sox are going to, finally beat, a last place White Sox team. But, coming into Saturday, scoring runs, not scoring runs, going back and forth, Justin Turner, the savior, having that hit in the 9th inning, and then Tristan Casas, man, just blowing that lead with the, ground ball that he should have had that would have gone into extra innings. And then just Sunday, it felt like we just totally, crapped the bed. Like, we were just like, you know what? After that RBI double by Adam Duvall, we were just like, you know what? Let's just pack it in. Let the White Sox, Luis Roberts just hit, 2 home runs and call it a night. Let's just pack our bags, just go to Fenway Park and just hope for the best. But this Red Sox team, I still feel like that we're going to have a couple of good winning streaks here and there. We could possibly, I don't know about possibly sleeping the Marlins because surprisingly they're a better team with 45 wins and they have Their best pitcher, Sandy. I forget his the last name, but
Sandy Alcantara.
yeah, Alcantara. Yeah, he's pitching tomorrow night for the Marlins. So that's going to be a tough matchup. But other than that, I think this Red Sox team can go on a nice little winning streak. So I think I have very high hopes against these Miami Marlins after absolutely crapping the bed this weekend.
I agree. The Miami Marlins also, they got the cover athlete of the MLB, the Show 23, Jazz Chisholm as well, which is pretty good. They're a good young team, and I think the Marlins are going to be a tough test, especially having a former Cy Young going tomorrow night in Sandy Alcantara. Gina, let's hear your thoughts on this White Sox series. I know it's a disappointing week for the Red Sox, but let's hear your thoughts on this series that just happened over the weekend.
Who, me or Justin?
I'll go with you and then Justin last.
All right. Well, they were just better. I mean, that's what it comes down to. They were just better. Injury bug hit us badly. We were all on something the whole time. It doesn't help that Houck's not there. It didn't help that we had a couple big injuries in the beginning of the game, but also it just proves how the White Sox are sleepers sometimes. When they kicked our butts flat out. Robert was amazing, and everything else. Paxton is our best starting pitcher along with Bello, both of them. And the fact that we have to count on them so much and count on Martin so much is going to be really interesting because Kenley Jansen, I love Kenley Jansen so much, but man, he needs to figure it out. He needs to figure it out. If we're going to go against one of the toughest teams in the Marlins, we have got to close these games and get all these injury guys back like Story and Chang, and then it'll look better. And the trade deadline's coming up, and that's going to be nice. But we need to get it together here. 2 games out of the wild card, that could turn to 5 games out of the wild card pretty dang fast. That's just me, though.
I agree. I feel like especially lately, losing series, especially when a team that I noticed recently too, the Blue Jays were scuffling and the Yankees were scuffling. The Rays have been losing games too. This is the biggest time, especially entering those series. This was the biggest time for the Red Sox to gain ground in the AL East, and they couldn't capitalize on it, especially with the Yankees playing bad, especially it was just painful to watch. And now let me talk about this White Sox series for a second, because what I saw with the White Sox series, it was just brutal. That series hurt, especially Kenley blowing that game, even in the non-save situation, blowing that game cost us his ground ball. I blame him more on Costas than I would on Kenley Jansen, but he needs to lock it down because he's been he's had stretches where he's been really dominant, and then he'll go and just plummet. I don't know what happens. He gets rocked, and then he goes back to a dominant stretch. He's been like that throughout his career, though, I feel, with the Dodgers and the Braves. Winkowski, too. I don't know what happened with Winkowski. He's been getting hit around a lot, too, from the bullpen, and I think Alex Cora's management decisions were kind of a little questionable. Why don't you bring in Chris Martin a little bit earlier in a situation where you need him, despite where you have Winkowski going and continuing to get hit hard? So it's a couple things were questionable, and then pulling Bobby Dahlbeck at the 3rd inning in that game, do you think about that play that costed the game? Do you think Bobby Dahlbeck makes that play? 9 times out of 10, yes, he does, because he's a very good defender. So that kind of haunts the Red Sox too in a situation. Justin, I saw your finger up. Sorry, I just want to finish that. Let's see what you said. Offense is dead cold, man. It was nice 7-game stretch with the super hot bats. Let's fire it up. Bayo is him. Brian Bayo is definitely him, Justin. He was amazing. Brian Bayo pitched we have developed an ace. We developed a really good pitcher in Brian Bayo, and I'm so happy to say that because this is the first time the Red Sox have crafted and developed a really good starting pitcher since I'm going to say Clay Buchholz right now, just because I want to say John Lester, but Bayo has to keep proving himself just a little bit more before I can solidify and say he's just like John Lester. I think he's amazing. And Brian Bayo, arguably entering next year, if he can keep pitching the way he is, I think this Red Sox pitching staff, this young core, we're going to be set in the rotation with a couple more pieces. And I just feel let me hear you guys' thoughts on Bayo, by the way. I want to go around the table and talk about Brian Bayo because what he does and what he has done recently has been amazing. What do you guys think about Brian Bayo? And do you think this is the future ace of the Red Sox? I'll start with Deb and I'll go around.
All right. So I think Brian Bayo is going to be, a very good ace for the Boston Red Sox. He's given me a little bit, I know this may be a little bit too early or I may be, far-fetching myself, but he's giving me a little bit of a Pedro Martinez vibes, right here and right now, starting off strong, getting some clutch strikeouts here and there. Fastball's doing, A-OK his curveball, I've been saying this ever since. Brian Bale will be a great starter for the Boston Red Sox. He's he's probably our ace right now because Paxton's hurt, but he'll be back for next game. But I just think that the Red Sox have a great future with Bale. He's just a great pitcher, and hopefully, and knock on wood, hopefully he doesn't get injured. And because if he's gone, season's screwed.
I agree. He's been our biggest pitcher, and I feel like especially Brian Bayo, if it wasn't for James Paxton, Brian Bayo is big. And James Paxton, good news on James Paxton, guys. That injury, he will be able to make his next start. The Red Sox have announced, so he's going to be good for his next start. Justin, yeah, your finger up. I see you want to say something. I'll get to you in 1 second, whenever you're ready. But I'm going to go to, you're good? Okay, cool. I'm going to go to Harrison just so you can get everything up, Harrison. What do you think about Brian Bayo? How do you feel about Bayo? Oh, sweet
Well,
Bayo. I have to go to you because I know you're the biggest Brian Bayo hater on the internet, allegedly, from what you tell me. So I need to hear you.
I just want to say
Ridiculous.
I just want to apologize to Brian Bayo. Thank you so much for winning these games. You are the Walmart version of Pedro Martinez. And I just want to say thank you for winning these games for us, but without you, we'll be nothing. And like I always call you, Bayo.
Okay, wait a minute. Walmart? You couldn't do like Target or something? Like Walmart's pretty no offense to Walmart, but
Walmart is listen, Walmart's the spot. Walmart.
I don't know, man.
Okay, my bad. Walgreens, Pedro.
Oh my god.
That's even worse. Anyways, let's go.
All right, I'm done. I just want to say thank you, Brian Bayo. You're a legend. I hope we can sign you for like a 7-year contract or whatever.
I love it. Oh wow.
I love
34-year-old.
I agree. I think it's gonna be big. Brian Bayo, I just want to say what especially what Dev and Harrison just said. In the offseason, Brian Bayo was working with Pedro Martinez, developing pitches. And Brian Bayo has used them to his advantage. He developed a cutter. This man has been pitching so good that he messed around and said, you know what? My slider's not working out. Let me develop a cutter and see how it works out. That's how good Brian Bayo has been. He's working on new pitches. And look, he's just watching videos like you said of Pedro Martinez. His delivery is very similar. He's electric. He's got a great fastball. And he's been looking really good in this past couple games. So that Yankee game, pitched amazing. Pitched a beauty of a game. Game before that went 8 innings. He has a high pitch count. That's the only thing that is a little concerning because he's putting a lot of stress on his arm with 100 pitches per game. But hey, he gets the job done. It allows the bullpen to rest. Gino, what do you think about Brian Bayo? I need to hear your thoughts on how you feel about Brian.
Bayo, you're my hero. I love you. I've been rooting for you since day one. You're in my starting lineup. I should really do a fan club. I should create a fan club for you because, man, I can't wait what you're going to do the rest of the season next year. And hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood, years to come. I love him. We would not be anywhere without him and Paxton right now. So let's just keep the good times rolling.
We love positive vibes. And I'm going to say this rotation with Brian Bayo, when all healthy, think about a rotation, a healthy in their primes when let's say they're extended. Bayo, Whitlock, Houck, Brian Mata, because he's in the minors and he's very, very good and he's close to coming up. And then let's say the Red Sox mess around in the offseason and sign a guy like Nola or Shohei Ohtani, even if they decide to open their books. Good young rotation. And then also they got guys like James Paxton, who I hope is okay, by the way. He said he's going to pitch this next game, so I'm very excited. James Paxton, true warrior, love seeing him pitch. Justin's had his finger up. I think he disappeared. So while he's gone, we're going to do a preview of the Miami series because we play the Miami Marlins at Fenway Park this week, and it's going to be a tough series. I'm going to start with you, Harrison, because you went last one, so I'm going to let you go first this one, and we'll go around. Let's hear your thoughts on this Miami Marlins series and what are you excited about?
You know what? Remember the Yankee series? Remember I did reverse psychology?
It didn't work.
Oh, yeah. You said it did.
No, it did work. Did it?
I don't think it did. Did it? I don't. What do you guys think?
He said the Yankees were sweeping up, and then Red Sox swept us. So let's hear it. Let's hear it. I'm ready.
You know what? I'm gonna do the reverse psychology. I'm gonna say Miami is gonna win. Is gonna sweep the Boston Red Sox, but basically the Red Sox are gonna sweep the Miami Marlins.
Really?
But no, I think they're gonna sweep us, but it's okay. But listen, is there any other news? What's going on with Hulk, or is he gonna be gone next month?
I haven't heard
They
anything yet.
I seen something about him having surgery on his face. I don't
He
know if
did.
they want to put a plate.
Yeah.
I don't know if they put a plate in his face, but if anything, he won't have to miss too much time, maybe like a month or so, just so he can heal his face. There was even a joke someone said, like, talk about like Alex Cora. They said, "Is it possible to pitch with a mask on his face?" And Cora's like, "I don't even know." That would be crazy. I've seen NBA players play with the mask. Obviously, most recently Jaylen Brown for the Celtics in the playoffs, always wearing the mask throughout the year after the injury he had with Tatum that year. And it would be cool to see a pitcher pitch with a mask. I think it would be pretty sick to see a black mask on him and
Okay.
shoving. It would be fire.
Okay, back when I was saying, well, Doogie's coming back, and I prayers up to his family. Hope he's doing okay so far. With I think his parents, one of their grandmother passed away from cancer. I think, which is tough. It's the evil world we live in. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
But Doogie's gonna. I think Doogie might be coming back. I think he's gonna just do this for his family. So I think Doogie's gonna go 2 for 4, a double, and a grand slam.
Oh.
Ooh, okay.
I like that.
I like the sound of that. I like the sound of Doogie heating up in this series. My prediction for the Marlins series, I think the Red Sox win it. I think they take 2 out of 3. It's going to be hard. I think they put Alcantara in. I hope we don't have to face Yuri Perez, because Yuri Perez has a 1.32 ERA. He is absolutely amazing.
Oh my god!
They've developed some young talent too, especially with Edward Cabrera. I think the Red Sox heat up. They got good bats too. Jazz Chisholm, Jorge Soler. They got a good young team. Luis Arias, who should be the NL MVP.
Yeah.
I mean, if you hit 400, you deserve to win the NL MVP. Forget the homers. 400, first time since Ted Williams. I'll take that any day. Justin, you have your finger up. I say you want to go. Let's see what you got. Matty Backpack's homecoming. 2 out of 3 Sox win. That is true. Matt Barnes coming back to Fenway Park for the first time since being traded by the Red Sox in the offseason. That should be good. Matt Barnes. It's funny. We traded him a year after he got a contract extension. He was our closer at one point. If you're watching this somehow, thank you for everything you did for the Boston Red Sox. You had a stretch where you were one of the most dominant relievers in Major League Baseball. So thank you for that first half of 2021. Thank you for big moments in the playoffs. Deb, what do you think is going to happen in this Marlins series? I'm ready to hear your thoughts.
Oh, well, I think the Marlins are going to have to go fishing. So we're going to take 2 out of 3. We're going to get some nice fishing rods out there for them, because I feel like we're going to lose the first game and then take the next 2, because I feel like the Red Sox are going to be upset and they want to, win a couple games, here and there before we go on the road to face a tough team in Toronto. So I think we're going to take 2 out of 3 and have a great, dirty water series.
All I know is I want to hear, I love that dirty water after the Red Sox win. When you go to Fenway Park, you love to go for 2 things. It depends. I'm a guy who's a fan of Sweet Caroline. Sweet Caroline you go for. The second thing you go for is to hear when the Red Sox win the game, Dirty Water start playing as soon as that final out is recorded, and I need to hear the Red Sox at least have that playing at Fenway Park 2 times out of the 3 games in the series. And Gino, let's hear your thoughts on the Miami series. We heard it from everybody. Let's hear your thoughts. Do you think the Sox win the series?
Wait, Harrison, what did you said? What did you say again, Harrison?
Wait
about the series? What did you say?
I said reverse psychology. The Marlins are going to sweep the Red Sox.
All right, I think they're going to win 2 out of 3. I think we're gonna lose the first couple games, and then we're gonna win the last game, and then Toronto is going to be a true test for us. That's just what I think.
I mean, I think when we play Toronto, I think it's going to be the same results. The Red Sox swept the Blue Jays at Fenway. I believe this series is it at Fenway again, or are we going to?
No,
it's at Toronto.
Oh, it's in Toronto. Okay, so we're going to there. I think the Red Sox go into Toronto and show it why it's America's pastime I think the Red Sox will handle it. They've been really good against the Blue Jays, really good against the Yankees. Something they didn't do last year. Play good against the American League East, and they've been playing good. Besides the Rays, we own us. We're hearing both songs next Saturday. Oh yeah, next Saturday. Praying that the weather is going to be okay. Justin and I will be at Fenway Park for the Red Sox and Oakland Athletics. Pablo Reyes facing his former team. Should be fun to watch. But yeah, I think this team, man, I really think if we can figure this, we got to figure this out. The injury bug's got to go, number one. The injury bug is what's hurting us right now. Hurting a lot of teams in Major League Baseball, but it's hurting the Red Sox specifically, too. Once Duvall's figuring it out a little bit, which is good. He was slumping a lot. I feel like his wrist is finally getting fully healthy, swinging the bat again. Trevor Story coming back probably by after the All-Star break. Yu Chang got transferred to the 60-day IL, so he's still recovering. But I like this David Hamilton kid. He's playing really, really good right now. Getting on base. The play he made in Chicago on that ball that Tim Anderson dropped and he scored on it. That kid's fast. Him and Jared Duran, I want to see them have a foot race at Fenway. That would be fun. Justin, you got your finger up. I know you want to say something. Let's see what you want to say, but whenever you're ready, I'm here for you. What you got, Justin? Updates on Trevor Story? I haven't seen anything on Trevor Story yet, but what the expectation is, beginning of August, end of July, we should see Trevor Story at FIA Park at least as a DH. And
I'll take it.
When he comes back, this is going to be interesting to see what happens. Who gets cut off this roster? I mean, tough decisions had to be made. Lionel Tapia going to the Brewers, obviously getting DFA'd was a tough decision to keep Jared Duran on the roster and get Duvall back, but it was a decision that had to be made. It's going to be some tough decisions when Trevor Story come back. Who is going to be sent down to Worcester or DFA? We'll have to see. And yeah, the series, man. I think Miami's not ready. Sorry, guys, it's a little hot in here. It's getting hot now, guys. It's summertime. It is summertime, guys. It's hot everywhere you go now. And so, with that being said, with it being hot, the dog days of summer, I want to roll into that. The dog days of summer are coming up. July, August, beginning of September, the hardest months of the year, the longest stretch of the year of baseball. Do you guys think after the All-Star break that this Red Sox team could turn it around? Do you think we have the chance to make a playoff push? I want to put that question on the table because I feel like this is really interesting to see. Justin, you have your finger up. I'll say whenever you're ready. But I want to throw that question on the table. Do you guys think this team can make the playoffs? Watch our video from a week ago about this Trevor Story. Oh yeah, we did a video on Grandstand Productions. It's on this channel that we're streaming from right now. If you go down, you'll see updates on Trevor Story. If you want to see that, click it. It's a great video. Noah does a voiceover. He does an amazing job. Shout out to Noah. He's great. But let's start with Dev on this question. Do you think the Red Sox in the second half turn this thing around and make a push for the playoffs?
I think they do. I think that, this is a very emotional roller coaster for the Red Sox. We win 7 games, we lose like 4 games. We win 6 games, we lose them. So I think that, by the All-Star break and, we'll be playing a couple of AL East opponents too, that I think that this team will possibly be in second place in the AL East. And surprisingly for a last place team, we are 2 games behind in the AL wildcard race. I think there's Houston, Toronto's definitely there, the Orioles are there, and the Yankees. And I think that this team, I know I said once Duvall comes back, we could be pushing ourselves to the playoffs, but we're going to get there. We are going to easily get. Well, not easily get there. It's going to be tough, but I think that this team will definitely get there. Pitching needs a lot of help, so hopefully by the trade deadline we can acquire some good arms.
I think the one thing, especially with this team, is it's going to be a battle to the last pitch. The team is just going to show a lot of fight, I think. Harrison, I know your optimism is big on the Red Sox usually. Do you think this team can make a push to make the playoffs this season?
I don't know. That's like a big question mark. We just don't know about this team. I just think I have a hot take here. I think Kike Hernandez in the second half is going to get hot. How much Kike has been struggling like a trombone recently, I still want this guy to succeed. Yes, he's like, how old is he? 31, 32?
I believe so. Who were you talking about?
How old he
Kike
is?
Hernandez.
Kike, I
I
think he's 31, 32. He's in his mid 30s, I
I
believe.
think Kike's getting hot. I want Kike to get hot in the second half because we've seen it in 2021. Kike was an animal on that field. He was just hitting bullets.
31. He's 31 years old.
He's 31. Okay. But I just think Kike, I just hope, I'm praying. I love Kike Hernandez. I'm like the number one Kike fan ever. I just hope that dude can do good in the second half. Yes, he's struggling, but do we trade Kike in the trade deadline?
I wouldn't be surprised, to be
I won't be
honest.
wouldn't be
surprised, but
surprised,
at the same time, we can't let Justin Turner and Kike go. They're just the bestest friends ever. But but I hope that my opinion that Kike is going to get hot soon. And Chris Hill, hopefully he's going to be coming back on August 2nd, I believe.
That is the rumor date, yeah, August 2nd, without rehab.
Just hopefully he can just not bite a toenail or just hit his hit his own, like hit his foot with a chair, or just like,
oh my gosh,
twins, or it's like his son's getting him a piggyback ride, or just what, like, dude, it's just like he needs to smell the roses and trying to play some baseball, because we just getting injured nonstop, and it's just tiring and frustrating. And also, by the way, I want Dylan Cease from the White Sox.
Okay.
Dylan Cease from the White Sox. I think everybody knows I want Merrill Kelly from the Diamondbacks, but we'll see which one they get. Gino, let's hear it. What do you think? Does this team make a push to play October baseball at Fenway Park this year?
We're the Red Sox. We always make it so dang close, right? So I think for me, we need to get the injuries back at the right time. We need to get hot at the right time, because there's going to be a lot of people's injuries are going to come back during the time when we should be hot. So I think we'll get there, a wild card maybe, but it's going to be super tough. I mean, our division is the best division in baseball. That's super tough and competitive. So I'm saying wild card, and just pray for no injuries, just like Harrison said.
I agree. The one thing I think, and I said this the last episode, I think it's going to come down to the wire, and I think it's going to be a game 163 at Fenway Park. I think Red Sox Yankees would be a realistic idea to fight for the last wild card spot. I mean, it would bring a playoff vibe just for that game alone. And the last time we seen a game 163 was in 2010, I believe, 2012. It was David Price in Texas, and he pitched a gem. And I vividly remember this because I was at I think my sister, we took her to, she had an emergency with her toe. She had something wrong with her toe. It was something with her foot. And she hurt her foot. And I remember just sitting in the corner watching game 163, eyes glued on the screen. And I was like, my sister was like, listen, I don't care if you get hurt right now. As long as you don't distract me from this game, I'm good. But no, I think the Red Sox, if we want to make the playoff, we need to win consecutive ball games. We need to play good, and pitching needs to be healthy. Chris Sale, if he comes back, if we get Paxton fully healthy, which he should be, he's coming back for his next start. How down the stretch is going to be amazing. If we get him back, I think we trade for a fifth starter. I think we get rid of Corey Kluber, trade Corey Kluber, whatever we have to do in order to get younger and better. And then I think Kike, I know you said, Harrison, that you want him. I love Kike. I have his jersey, but I think he gets traded at the deadline. I think for at least anybody could use a veteran presence. And a guy who can play multiple
that's
positions.
the number one thing. Where do you?
It could be any team that's looking for someone who wants someone who can play multiple positions. Kike can play shortstop, second base, center field, wherever you need him. And I think that's the one thing that a lot of teams take value on is players that can play anywhere. Justin, you have your finger up. I want to see your thoughts, and then we're gonna wrap it up. What do you think, bud? It starts with my boy Rafi. If he gets hot, things would click. We are capable of making a run, and it starts now. I agree. This team is ready for war, and I think don't be surprised by October if you're seeing the Boston Red Sox in your playoff brackets for the year. As always, guys, I just want to say thank you for tuning in to our podcast. As always, we stream on here. And once a week, we get an episode out for you guys. We love making these episodes for you guys, and we love your support. As always, if you're seeing us on the Grandstand Production YouTube channel, hit subscribe. Follow us on Twitter as well, the Grandstand Productions Twitter. And also, give us a follow on Twitter, Inside the Sox Podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, featured on Wisdom. And as always, guys, from Rob, from Gino, from Dev, from Harrison, and from Justin, we love that,
Love that dirty
water.
water.
Dirty water.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Peace.
Adios.